Patch 2.4 is almost here, and Cartethyia is the center of attention. She's finally becoming playable after being a major boss in the story, and her reveal has raised a lot of hype. With her unique dual form kit and strong synergy with aero erosion teams, she's quickly become one of the most anticipated units, similar to how Jinshi dominated meta back in patch 1.1. Meanwhile, phase 2 of patch 2.3 is already underway, and Ciaccona has officially joined the roster. While we won't go too deep into her today, she's worth mentioning for her strong potential in aero-focused teams. Not only could she become a key support for Cartethyia, but she also stands out as a premium option to boost Jian's damage. Her kit shows early signs of long-term value, and she's easily one of the highlights of the current banners. Then there's Lupa. While she may not carry the same hype as Cartethyia, she's arriving in 2.4 with a different kind of strength. Built around fusion damage and a brawler-style kit, Lupa could be the top-tier DPS option for players looking for a more aggressive, close-range playstyle. With the reruns for both Brant and Changli now available, the current banners may directly impact how ready your account is to support her. This video will mainly focus on Cartethyia and Lupa, looking at how they could shape the meta and what kind of gameplay experience we can expect from each. Whether you are leaning towards aero or fusion, the goal is to help you make informed decisions based on what directions you want to take your teams. If you are new to the channel, I'm Kenzor. I make chill, no fluff guides to help you pull smarter and enjoy the game more. If you like the vibe, consider liking the video, leaving a comment and subscribing. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who supported the last video. I didn't expect to receive so much attention, and it honestly means a lot. Seeing all the feedback and new subscribers really pushed me to take YouTube more seriously. I'm working on posting more often now, and if you are enjoying the content, it means a lot if you help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Alright, let's get back to the big question. How do you prepare your account? Who should you pull? And what's the real meta value behind these two units? Cartethyia is shaping up to be one of the most impactful DPS units introduced so far in Wuthering Waves. Her dual form design allows her to shift into Prioritise mid-combat, bringing massive AoE coverage, flashy mid-air combos, and strong scaling. But what makes her stand out isn't just her numbers, it's how smooth, intuitive, and satisfying her kit looks and feels. Although we don't have her full kit confirmed, everything we've seen points to Cartethyia being the centerpiece of aero erosion comps. Aero Rover already applies erosion, Ciaccona has just released as a strong aero buffer, and Cartethyia is the only upcoming aero DPS. It makes perfect sense for her to slot into this archetype. Based on her strong story presence and how central she seems to be in the plot, it would be surprising if she could apply erosion herself. Especially with her two distinct forms, there's a good reason to believe her base form will build erosion stacks, while Prioritise crashes them out with heavy hitting attacks and liberation. We've seen very little of her base form skill and forte circuit, which might be a hint that her rotation starts in base form and transitions into high damage once Prioritise is activated. If that turns out to be true, it would make Cartethyia more self-sufficient and give her excellent flexibility in team building. From a free-to-play perspective, she's looking surprisingly accessible. While her signature weapon will likely be her best in slot, the Emerald of Genesis is a fantastic alternative. It's one of the strongest standard 5-star sword in the game and matches her playstyle well. Plus, if she really can apply erosion herself, she won't rely as heavily on limited supports like Ciaccona, which gives her even more value for low spenders. Regarding her echoes, I'd highly recommend holding off on investing resources in any aero sets for now. Since we've already seen that Lupa is tied to a different emblem, it strongly suggests that version 2.4 will introduce a new region, and with it, at least one new echo set. This upcoming set might be much better suited for Cartethyia's full kit. Waiting could save you resources and allow you to optimize her build once everything is revealed in the full patch. Her transformation into Fleur-de-Lis is one of the flashiest in the game. You trigger it with her first Resonance Liberation, gaining access to her stylish mid-air combo with impressive rage, especially the final hit. But the real highlight comes when you activate her Liberation again, finishing her combos with a cinematic, high-impactful strike that leaves a massive cut across the ground. It's clean, satisfying, and a perfect visual payoff to her rotation. Just like Jinshi set the standard for top-tier DPS during version 1, Cartethyia seems ready to play a similar role in version 2. Jinshi remained unmatched in raw output across multiple banners even at S0, and became the gold standard for DPS units during her time. When we look at Cartethyia's potential damage, flexible team comps, and stylish dual form design, she looks like the clear successor to that role. That said, if you are looking for a character who delivers on both performance and playability, Cartethyia is hands down the best pick in 2.4. What makes her especially appealing is how she blends strong power scaling with accessibility. Her synergy with fewer standard supports, potential independence from erosion enablers, and compatibility with weapons like Emerald of Genesis gives her a much easier entry point for free-to-play players. She doesn't seem locked behind multiple partners or niche setups. Add that to her satisfying gameplay and clean animations, and she becomes one of the most complete and future-proof options we've seen. Now, Lupa offers a sharp contrast to Cartethyia. Where Cartethyia floats and slides through enemies with elegance, Lupa is all about impact, heavy hits, fiery explosions, and raw aggression. Her fusion broad blade playstyle leans into momentum and burst-based combat. And since we've already had two limited fusion characters, Brant and Changli, whose kits were more about mechanical execution than pure burst numbers, we can expect Lupa to follow the path. She might not deliver massive damage up front, but her kit will likely reward players who enjoy mastering tighter mechanics. For those who like to challenge themselves, she could end up being one of the most fun and satisfying units to play. Her synergy is expected to revolve around Brant and Changli. Brant's shielding, healing, and fusion buffs can stabilize Lupa's more high-risk approach, making him a strong support core for her kit. Meanwhile, Changli may finally find a DPS who can fully benefit from her fusion-based outro buff. That trio, Lupa, Brant, and Changli, could become one of the most synergetic teams in the game. If you don't have access to these limited units, Jinshi could be a decent fallback. Since we anticipate that Changli's outro will boost Lupa through fusion and resonance liberation buffs, Jinshi's outro, which also enhances resonance liberation, makes her a reasonable free-to-play alternative. From what we've seen so far in the drip marketing, Lupa appears to be designed with a strong wolf motif, like how Changli's Phoenix identity was built into her entire animation set and skill design. Lupa's slashes and liberation are likely to mirror a wolf's wild, instinctive power. Expect claw-like animations and fast, aggressive motion that captures her primal energy. But with that design comes a challenge. Like Brant and Changli before her, Lupa will likely demand specific comps, clean swaps, and sharp timing to get the most out of her damage. She may fit into quick swap style teams thanks to what will likely be longer, impactful animations, but getting the most value from her will take effort. Compared to Cartethia's smoother front-loaded damage style, Lupa might be more rewarding for experienced players but tougher to plug into the average account. So unless you are actively playing and planning to build a fusion comp, I personally don't recommend pulling for Lupa. She may not be the most practical or accessible pick for the average player. But if you are into fast-paced combat, intricate mechanics, and the thrill of mastering something that's not straightforward, she might be your next favorite unit. Speaking of getting the most out of your pools, Phase 2 of Patch 2.3 introduced several reruns and the debut of Ciaccona, and while she's getting a lot of attention, I don't think she's a must pull, especially if your goal is to prepare for Cartethyia. If you're short on Astrite, your priority should be securing Cartethyia and her signature weapon first. Once her full kit is revealed, then you'll be in a better position to judge if Ciaccona is worth adding to your roster. When it comes to Gian, the conversation shifts. Mortify appears on the same banner and may already be S6 for many players, which brings an automatic 20% attack bonus. But if we look at the team performance overall, Ciaccona provides more long-term value. While Mortify is mostly a pure enabler for Gian, Ciaccona contributes meaningful damage herself and improves the total team output. If you are building for Gian and you are aiming to maximize his potential, I'll highly recommend picking up both Ciaccona and her signature weapon. Gian doesn't scale with aero erosion, so her weapon's 10% aero resistance shred helps close the gap. For a long-term aero team value, Ciaccona shines even brighter at S2. Between her kit, the Gods of Wilkin Echo set, and her S2 passive, she brings a combined 79% aero damage buff to the team. Add the 10% resistance reduction from her signature weapon, and she becomes an exceptional aero support. What's even better is her versatility. Unlike Phoebe, who was built specifically around Spectrofrazzle and can be used as a main DPS, Ciaccona was designed to support and flex across different Aero and Spectrofrazzle teams. She's not locked into Aero erosion comps, and that opens up her long-term value. On the fusion side of things, Brant and Changli are the key reruns to watch if you are looking to prepare for Lupa. Brant offers excellent utility through shielding, healing, and dual buffs for fusion and skill damage. Since both Changli and Carlotta are getting skins in version 2.4, there's a high chance Changli will return soon. But even if she doesn't, Brant remains a must pull. He's too useful to skip if you plan to build around Fusion. Lupa may not take full advantage of Brant's skill damage boost, but she absolutely benefits from his Fusion amplification, making him one of the most important picks for her team. If you plan to pull for Lupa, getting Brant now is a smart and safe investment. As for the other reruns, Jinshi, Carlotta and Roccia, I won't go too deep into them here. Even if Jinshi is still one of the top DPS units, she isn't a priority if you already have Phoebe or Zani, since they fill similar Spectre roles. Carlotta is a great option if you want to add a powerful single target DPS to your lineup. And lastly, Roccia, while fun and effective in open world or Wuthering Waves, when paired with Havoc Rover or Camellia, doesn't offer a big improvement over free options like Sanhua. Unless you are specifically drawn to her playstyle, I'd suggest saving your pools. If you are looking for a deeper analysis on each unit in this banner phase, I've made a full video that covers their kits, value, synergy and weapons in more detail. You'll find the link in the description below. To sum everything up, Cartethyia and Lupa are two completely different styles of DPS, each offering their own strengths but also very different levels of investment. If you are aiming for a powerful, flexible DPS with a low entry cost, Cartethyia is easily the better choice. Her synergy with free supports, potential erosion self-application, and viability with standard weapons like Emerald of Genesis makes her a very free-to-play friendly unit. She's strong, satisfying to use, and likely to stay relevant in future content. Lupa, on the other hand, looks like a unit built for advanced players. She has high potential but comes with higher demands, tight rotations, specific support needs, and a learning curve. If you want to build around her properly, you will need Brant at minimum and ideally Changli too. That adds to the overall investment required to make her shine. In my opinion, Cartethyia is a smoother, more resource-efficient option with broad value across multiple teams, and Lupa can be amazing, but only if you are ready for the extra effort and investment. If you want immediate value and a unit that slots easily into your account, I recommend going for Cartethyia. And if you are willing to commit to mastering a more complex character and building a strong fusion team around her, then Lupa might be your style. Thanks for watching and let me know in the comments. Are you saving your Astrites for Cartethyia or building around fusion teams with Lupa? If this guide helped you out, feel free to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Every bit of support means a lot and helps me get closer to that 1000 subscriber goal. I've got more content on the way, so until next time, happy gaming!